Jackie, what's going on? I appreciate you coming on to do this. How's everything going?
Fantastic. It's an honor to meet you in person or on camera.
Yeah, have you been on any of the calls that we haven't been on any of the calls that we did, or did you?
No, I did a post yesterday so I could get to level 4
Let's
today.
go.
And your community is they're so nice, because I'm like, help, help. I'm a camera shy artist. I need to be on that camera workshop call and it bumped me up to level 4.
Let's go.
I know. I know.
So for people that are in the community or just like watching us on YouTube or whatever that might not know who you are, explain like who you are, where you're from, and like what you're doing now, and then we'll work ourselves backwards a little bit.
Right on. My name is Jackie. I'm an artist. I've been an artist for over 20 years, and I've done murals and portraits. And I hate to say award winning because that sounds like egotistical, but
No, you can flex a little bit. You can say that. Let's
it's,
go.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been doing it for 20 years, so I better, improve over that whole time. But underneath that all, I've really enjoyed helping others. And so, I did like the Big Brother, Big Sister, Catholic charities where you help kind of feed the homeless and help them get another step back onto building a new life. And that's always kind of been connected with the art, like how can I use my art to help others? And that's been the journey. I was born in California. I was the eighth kid out of 10.
Eighth kid is crazy.
Yeah, so I was such a non-event that my mom wanted to finish a movie, and they got stuck in traffic, and I was born on the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge in the car.
Wow, that is wild.
Yeah, and I'm kind of a history geek, so I joined Ancestry.com, and I actually found an article of when I was born in the car. It was on 19th and Taraval Street, wherever that is. So I plan to go to San Francisco in about a month to check out where I was born, not to the
That's
hospital.
wild. Yeah, that is crazy. 8 out of 10 is wild. What are the like? What is the eight? Like, what's like the biggest age difference? Like from the oldest to the youngest.
I believe it's a 20-year gap. Yeah, so my mom was 19 when she met my dad. That's a whole nother story of how they met and what happened with them. And yeah, so the oldest boy, Jim, down to Jeff, the baby of the family. I
Don't
believe
tell me
it's
that all the names are with J's. Don't tell me that.
okay.
Is
I
it?
won't.
Is it though? It is. It is, isn't it?
It is.
That is insane. So wait, what are all the names? There's 10 J names? Like what? So you have Jeff, Jackie, you said what was the other one?
Yeah, so Jim and Janet were my parents, and rest in peace. And
Okay.
then it goes Jim, Janine, John, Jerry, Julie, Janice, Joyce, Jackie, Joe, and Jeff.
That is so interesting. They're like, we ought to just keep making babies. Let's see how many J names we can come up with. And not like how many of you guys have kids?
So the funny thing is that a lot of my brothers had either didn't have kids or married people who already had kids. So one brother has five, and then my sisters. That's another kind of weird thing. Most of us only have one.
Are you doing the J thing too?
No,
That's
no.
funny.
So my daughter, her name is Amanda Michelle, but for the first 24 hours of her life, she was baby girl Graw.
Wait,
Because
what?
well, that's my last name is Graw,
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
and I was I was sure she was a little boy, And so I had the boy names picked out. And then when she came out, I was like, oh no, we need to find a girl name like quick. And
Quick.
yeah, so her initial name was Holly. I love the name Holly Ann, but her initials would have been Hag, Holly Ann Grawe. And I'm like, oh
Nah.
crap, that's gotta go. So we chose Amanda Michelle.
What was the boy name going to be?
Either James David or David James. So
Mm.
after both of our fathers, kind
My
of.
middle name starts with a J, actually, Javon.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
What's the story of that? What's the meaning behind Javon?
I have no idea. I think my mom said she saw it in the Bible or something. I'm not really too sure, but I think that's where she got that.
Well,
But
I would find out. I like learning about who our spiritual guiders are, you know.
yeah. My mom was really young when she had me. She was like 15 when she got pregnant, so
Wow, good
I don't
for
even
her.
know if she could read the Bible at that age. No, I'm just kidding. But I think that's where she said she got it when I asked. So, how did you get into being like an artist? Like, was that something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, so you know, being such a young kid in this whole lineup of children, I think kids kind of display their tendencies of what they gravitate to early on. And I remember the first time I picked up a crayon with my left hand, I was coloring with my older sisters and their friends. And it just felt good. I think I was like 4 or 5 years old. And we had moved all over the country. So I was extremely shy. I hated being the new kid. But something happened when I picked up that crayon and I was coloring and I broke the crayon. And my sister's friends said, she can't play with us if she's going to break our crayons. And I was like, okay, I'll try not to. And so I picked it up, broke another one, got kicked out of their little coloring club. And so I was like, fine, I'll color on my own. And I know you're younger, so this is kind of a throwback to the
Maybe like a
70s.
year or two, maybe.
God love you. But in the 70s there was a show called Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, of course. I grew up on that too. I didn't know that it was from the '70s as well, though.
Yeah, yeah. So there was the Mad Painter. He was the guy who used to take a paintbrush and he would draw like the letter A or the letter B, like in ketchup on a hot dog or in paint on a building. And I
Oh,
was
well.
like mesmerized by him. I was like, that's the coolest job ever. So fast forward, you know, 30, 40 years or whatever, trying to find a niche in the art world where you can actually monetize your skill is it's brutal. It's brutal. I've tried everything. And you know, the clients appreciate me, but it's always like, well, how can I help more? How can I help more? How can I help more people?
When you say clients, what is it that you were doing?
So I've done a lot of full scale interior murals, or I've helped small businesses. And I mean, one of the murals I did, I look back now and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? It was an exterior mural of a cell phone building, and he wanted his logo painted outside. And I had flown in from Golden, Colorado to Kansas City, Missouri for my daughter's wedding. So this is in 2019. And it was so cold outside. I think with the wind chill, it was -10. I mean, it
Mm.
was like disgusting. And I was like, no, it has to get done. It has to get done. I'm only in town for a few days. I have to do it. So a friend helped me out. And I remember him and I standing over this little heater trying to get our hands from being, you know, not numb. So as far as like paying my dues on all of these, you know, side projects that I've done, I paid them. But I got it done, you know. And then in
Oh,
20,
by the way, before I forget, whenever I post this in the community, it would be cool if you post some pictures of different things that you've done.
Right on, totally. So, one of the more fancy ones I did was this house in Cherry Hills in Colorado. And it was a full wall bedroom mural for a young child. And the family was out of town, so I had the place all to myself. And I mean, it took multiple days to get it done. And oh, I do have a time lapse of that. I could post
Yeah,
that.
that would be cool. Yeah, yeah, share that stuff.
Yeah. So, but my big thing is I really geek out over history. So I've done tons and tons of portraits of like the great philosophers. I drew every president in 2020 when there was a shutdown. So I could,
Every U.S. president.
yes,
Oh, I was gonna say.
yeah, 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 all the way up through Trump, and then I stopped and came this close to having a book deal, a podcast deal, a merchandising deal.
What were you drawing them on? Like just sketching them, or what? Like what?
So it was on pastel paper, and it was imported from France. It was really fancy, really nice paper with pastels. And what had happened was this whole supply chain thing kind of came to a grinding halt. So I couldn't find that paper anymore.
Mm.
So anyway, that was its own project. And then I started working on, oh, this is where it gets kind of uncomfortable for me, but it's
That's
okay.
good. That's what we're here for.
Uh, yeah. So that's when I started working on what I needed help
As
with.
long as you're not like, that's when I had to murder somebody to feed my family. Okay, don't say anything crazy like that, but
Yeah, just clip that out. Delete, delete, merge. No, so I've been sober for 20 years. I got sober in 2004. And the reason why I'm uncomfortable talking about that is because it's a program of anonymity. We're supposed to remain anonymous, but as long I talk to my sponsor about it, as long as we don't say the group how we got sober, then I can still share my own story.
that's so interesting because it feels like it's something you would want to maybe don't share the names of the other people, but it seems like it's something you would want to share. That way, other people know about it to do it. No,
And
like
oh, well, thank goodness to your generation, it's kind of become cool to be sober or to get help or to
yeah.
say, hey, I need help. I see a lot of people posting their coins or the amount of time. But back in the 1950s, there was such a stigma around addiction and alcoholism.
Oh, because like you would have to basically admit that you were like an alcoholic or whatever if you were getting help and people didn't want other people to know about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
this makes sense. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I'm kind of old school, so being the eighth kid out of 10, my parents were from a different era. My dad was born in 28 and my mom was born in 32. So it
Being
was,
born in 28 is so insane when you think it's 25 right
I
now.
know, isn't that crazy? So it was like you don't talk about stuff, you don't share your problems, you just kind of toughen it out. And that's been kind of stuck in the back of my head. So I was like, well, I'm just going to research what's helped me. And I know that as an entrepreneur, you have to constantly upgrade your skills.
Hmm.
So I took like a UI UX certification skill from Boulder. And then I went back to the fine arts and I took it was almost like a master class for illustrators. And I remember talking to my instructors, and I was like, hey, I keep going back to ink, like, yeah, I know I do pastel, I paint and all that, but there's something about the ink, my little drawings, that really calmed me down. And one of the instructors was like, yeah, 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 but you need to be seen as a professional artist. I was like, I know, but I've drawn like over 90 of these, and I've drawn poetry. I've written poetry to go along with them, and it makes my brain feel better. And the other instructor, and he's kind of famous in the field in his own right, he was like, "Oh, you have something here." And when he said that, D, holy crap, man, I was like, yes, yes, I needed someone else to tell me I have something here. And so I did the work of compiling all of these illustrations and poetry into a book. And it was, and I'm not promoting the book or anything. That's not.
Promote that book. Promote that book.
Oh, I wish I had it here. It's at my new apartment in one of the boxes.
Anything you can show us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, right on. So it's called Creativity Cures, and it's how I overcame trauma through neuroscience, art, nature, and I think a couple other things. And I hired a professional editor, and I told her, I was like, help me put this together and, put it on Amazon and just kind of like set it aside. So there's one thing I think that the that people don't really talk about. It's kind of the elephant in the room. Like once you're sober, you're supposed to be happy, joyous, and free. But what what about the people who are still kind of dying inside and they're not
Mm.
talking about it? They're showing up at meetings, they're getting coffee, they're saying, "Hey, how's it going?" The relapse rate is, I think it's tragic. So in the 1950s, when this anonymous program that I won't name came out, the recovery rate of people who came in and stayed sober was around 75%, which is like incredible because it was a very specific
Yeah.
program of what to do. And now in the world, we have all these fancy rehabs, all over. I think it was 17,000 of them. And the recovery rate of people who want to get sober and stay sober is about 8%.
Oh wow.
So that's a lot of people who are relapsing, dying, getting, their lives falling apart. So that's where I was like, how can I help people not only, you know, get sober and be comfortable in their own skin, but maybe get a little bit of help if there's things haunting them from the past.
What made you want to go in that program? Like what made you say, "Hey, I need to like be sober. Like this is something I need to like do for myself."
So the thing about alcoholism is it is a fatal disease, and it's progressive, so it only gets worse. And there's a big difference between like a hard drinker who, his wife is like, "Bro, I'm going to leave you if you don't quit drinking."
Yeah.
And he can quit. And then the real alcoholic, the one with this disease of mind, body, and soul, can't stop on their own. So that's why people need help getting stopped. What Where I was struggling, even though I, wasn't drinking, I was helping others, going to meetings, doing all that. What there was a unresolved trauma, and that's a whole nother thing. See, I tend to overshare, and I don't think I should, but there was just a lot of tragedy in my family. When I was about 4 or 5, my older sister was killed by a drunk driver, and she
Wow.
was,
When you were 4 or 5,
yeah. So
how old was she then?
she was 18.
Oh, so she was driving.
Her car had broken down, and she was 8 months pregnant with a little boy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then so she passed away.
So she was like on the side of the road.
Yeah, she was waiting for her husband to come pick her up.
Man.
Yeah. So I know firsthand what that did to my parents. You
Yeah.
know, I never really knew her that much, And then we had another sister. She's also passed away, but there was a Dateline episode where she was involved in it. I won't mention the title of it, but her alcoholism was very tragic, very, very tragic, and a lot of bad stuff happened to her. And she had married a bad dude, which the episode was about. And since she was a drunk, the authorities didn't believe her when she said, "Hey, I think my husband is a suspect you guys are looking for." And it was a 2-hour episode on one of the longest cold case files in Massachusetts history, and they finally got him. And I have another little brother who, I pray for him every day, but he struggles with it. So it's like it's riddled throughout my family. But the reason why I kind of keep that stuff secret and I don't put it out there is because I want them to see us. I want them to see that we're, good people. And there was a lot of joy, a lot of fun growing up. But there's also this tragic thread that has been going throughout this generation. I'm like, okay, I need to speak up. I need to say, hey, if if you're newly sober and you're struggling, that's okay. Just hang on with us. Just hang on. So that's how that kind of wove together.
And so at some point you had became like a heavy drinker. Like, what got you into the program in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, being Irish Catholic, it's kind of written in our DNA, eat, drink, and be merry. And, I had my daughter pretty young. I was only 22, and I was waiting tables. And my husband at the time, he was a car salesman. So I worked nights, and in the bar scene, it's quite common for people to drink. And so, I'd use a drink to unwind or I'd use a drink to calm down. And I really didn't understand the progressive nature of it. It was so much shame. Like, man, why can't I like, limit what my drinking, limit this. And I had gone to a meeting here and there when I was younger, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't for me. I'll figure this out on my own. And so I'd go to church on Sunday and I'd light a candle and I'd say, "Hey, God, help me quit drinking. And please don't make me ever have to go to one of those meetings." And I researched who the saints were, the patron saints of addicts. And I was like, okay, I'll just like focus on them and that's how I'll do it. And the thing about real alcoholism or real addiction is it only gets worse and never better. So finally, I had to, reach out for help. And I didn't go
Was
to,
that like you doing, or was that like people telling you like, hey, you need to like get it together? Like, how did that like? What was kind of like the breaking point, I guess?
yeah, that's the weird thing about my story is they call people either low bottom drunks where they've lost everything. They've lost their wife, their family, their house, their career, or high bottom or high functioning alcoholics to where they, still have everything. And I had everything. My husband and I had bought our dream house. My daughter was an honor roll student, involved in sports. I was going to church every week, but the blackouts were getting worse, and the quantity. So I knew something had to change, but I was afraid that if I changed, it would upset the marriage, because both of us like to drink.
Mm.
So, my thing is, I'm never going to tell someone, "Hey, I think you're an alcoholic." It's an inside job. You You have to be desperate enough to seek out help and then take the steps needed. So yeah, it was an inside job. I went to a psychiatrist and he was like, "How much are you drinking?" And I was like, maybe 2 drinks a night." And, 2 drinks.
Two big bottles, but two drinks.
Yeah. And I smoked and stuff, and he was like, "Well, I want you to get on an antidepressant." I was like, "I don't believe in that stuff." And he was like, "But you're self-medicating." I'm like, "I'm just going to get another opinion." And so I went to a priest and I talked to him about it, and he wasn't like warm and fuzzy. He was pretty cold. And I remember the night specifically, because it was really dark. It was really windy, kind of cold, and I couldn't find the door because I had called to make a special meeting time with this priest. And so I'm walking around the backside of this church, and it just felt not scary, but like this impending doom. Like if I didn't do something, it was going to get ugly. So I had that fear, and I saw all these tragedies growing up with my own siblings. So I was like, I have to do something no matter what. So I went and talked to the priest, and he was like, "I think you need to join AA." I'm like, "No, no, there's got to be another way." And again, not saying I did or didn't, but yeah, I reached out for help the day after Thanksgiving of 2004. So that's when I started my journey.
And so what how does that tie into like what you're doing now?
So that ties into going to meetings for me was really tough, being super shy and like this introvert. I couldn't really talk. I had a lot of trouble speaking in public, because I was always the new kid. We always moved every year of my childhood. I've lived all over the
Oh
country.
wow. That is insane. Like moving 12 people just sounds like a headache.
It
Or
was,
however many, however many people. Maybe probably not all 12 of you every time, but still.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I kind of liked it, so I have this gypsy nature, but it was really tough being the new kid. And it's not like my family had money, you know. So I was the new kid in ratty clothes, and I had trouble talking. So, I mean, put a bullseye on my back for kids,
Yeah.
kids are mean. So I turned even deeper into drawing and art because it helped calm me down. So fast forward to when I began my journey of getting sober, I decided I was going to take a sketchbook with me to meetings. I'm like, hey, there's no rules here, you know? So I took a sketchbook and I kept my head down and I just began to draw. And, you know, when I was writing that book, The Creativity Cures, I studied a ton of neuroscience and neuroplasticity. That's been the big breakthrough is that our brains can rewire if we do certain steps. And so I realized, this great gift that I've been given, my sketchbook and a pen, was not only refine because I thought it was I'm just practicing getting better at drawing, but it was actually tapping into the creative centers of my brain, which kind of unhooks it from that fight or flight, that fear, because I still had a ton of fear and unresolved stuff. I didn't even realize it. I just kept reacting to symptoms. So people who have untreated trauma, and that's who my community is for, like people who are either sober or they're dealing with trauma symptoms. And I know I hate the word trauma because it feels like a buzzword,
Yeah.
like people are like, "Oh, I got a C in my college class. I'm feeling trauma." No, bro. I'm talking about like murder mysteries and,
Yeah, yeah.
car wrecks and jail and all of this crap. Like, I thought I could handle it, but after a while, the body starts presenting the symptoms of trauma, which is hypervigilance, insomnia, nightmares, fight or flight, or it's fight, flight, freeze, or run. And I kept running. I just kept moving. I was like, well, I like to move. I moved my whole childhood. I'll just keep moving. And my daughter, she's my best friend. But we're very different. She's like an analytical banker, very logical. And I'm an artist, so I'm just like up and down with the creativity and emotions and everything. And when I was moving back and forth from Colorado back here, she had said, I'm kind of worried about you. Like, what's going on? I was like, no, I'm onto something. I'm trying to find answers and stuff. And, I'd move back here for about 6 months and then I'd take off to Colorado again. And I was like working odd jobs and everything. But there was something about the mountains in Colorado that helped me tap into deeper creativity. And I'm like, that's the freaking answer. So in 2023, she asked me to move back here. She was pregnant with her second child. And I said, I'll do my best. I don't know if I can stay because there was other stuff that had happened here that I feel like I was running from. And again, I hate to say this word, but that I was a victim of. There was stuff that happened. But I don't like to say I'm a victim or anything like that. I want to say that I'm empowered and I'm a warrior and I can help lead the way for other people who are like hurting, you know. So I came back and I've been back here for over 2.5 years. And I was like, okay, time to put it to the test. Everything that I learned, everything that I researched, let's see if it works on me. I'll be my first, student. And it worked. It worked. And so I've been trying to reach out to like veteran communities, the elderly, like anyone who's been kind of pushed aside from our society, because we have this go get 'em society, but there's a lot of walking wounded out there. And so when I started my little free community in school,
So wait, when you say let's see if it works, what does it works mean? Like, what were you trying to? What was the result you were trying to achieve?
so by saying it works, it was my specific method of including eco psychology and what that is basically being outside. Like, what are the benefits of medicinal benefits of being outside that I think big pharma and all these for-profit medical institutions have hidden from us. Like, I went rogue. I'm like, I'm not asking permission from anyone anymore. I'm going to find answers. Like,
What
gener
were you looking to be able to do? Like, for example, someone's like, I was trying to lose weight, I was trying to make money. Like, what was the thing you were trying to do with this?
to make these symptoms go down, the fight or
S-
flight, the
Oh, okay.
insomnia, the nightmares, relapse. Like, I didn't want to go back down that path. And I think that's the problem is a lot of people get sober and they feel all this stuff and no one's talking about it, and it's like, hey, you might have unresolved trauma. It's not
Yeah.
just, what, there's a good story I heard right when I came into the program. I think I was about 3 months sober, and there was a biker who had lost his eyesight from speed. So, but he
From the
worked in,
drug.
yes,
Oh, okay. I was like, he
yes,
wasn't just like driving so fast that
no,
his eyesight went away. No, that's crazy.
no. So a friend of his said, "Hey, let's go pick this guy up." He relapsed. He's helped a ton of people. He's a good guy, really rough around the edges, like a true biker dude. He was like, let's go pick him up. There's a bed in a rehab center. Let's get him in there. He's helped so many people over 14 years. I was like, right on. Okay, good. I'm new to this. I'm like, okay, how's this work? And we went to a Wendy's, and both of us were eating a Frosty, and the other dude left. So it was just me and the biker guy. And I said, hey, what happened? And he was like, no one really talks about it. When a drunk gets sober, it's like you're draining a swamp. You're taking down all the murky water. But even though the water's gone, the alligators are still snapping. And so that's what made him relapse is the
Because like you cured the drinking, but like the problems that maybe caused you to start drinking are still there. But now you just took away the thing that you were using to cope with it before. So now it's like, what do I do instead, basically?
yeah. Yeah, totally. And I had gotten pretty intensive one-on-one therapy with the trauma therapist, and she was brilliant. I love talking to her. I really like talking to smart people because I can learn from them, and I like people who don't dumb down a message. Like, no, I want it all, you know. But after all that therapy, the symptoms were still there. And, not that I'm saying therapy is broken, but there was something in my mind that I was thinking is repeating the same problem over and over again in a weekly session. It goes back to the neuroplasticity. You're reinforcing that pathway, which ignites the fight or flight, and keeps people on edge. And so my thing was, maybe it's a little woo woo, but I mean, it's worked on me and it's helped other people that I've worked with. Is how do we just calm the brain down? Everyone thinks like whatever thought they have or whatever impulse, it must be true. It's not, it's a muscle basically. And we have to train it. We have to tell our brain, no, I'm in charge. And of course, none of this would have been possible without a deep faith in God. Like I was praying to him all the time. I'm like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. Show me the way. Why is this happening? What am I supposed to be learning from it? Who can I help? So I had this, so it's faith, nature, art, and like, how do I package this together into something that I can give to someone else and say, here, try this?
And so that is that the direction that you're going with your school community that you started, or how does that connect?
Yeah, yeah. So when I came into school, I was like, oh, I'll do art classes for parents of homeschoolers. I have to change that URL and it'll happen. But, I've noticed that whenever I say I should do something, then I'm not on the right path. And so someone in the school community, I don't even know who it was, but I was asking all these questions like, I don't know what I'm doing here. How do I build out a course? And it was like, no, don't build it out first. See if there's an audience first. So I've been kind of like trying to learn on the fly. And then this one person was like, what do you really want to do? And I'm like, all I really want to do is like draw in my little sketchbook. It shuts everything down. All of the worries and, the bills and what if no one likes it? It's gone. It's like true Zen. And the last thing I want to do is for people to see my work and say, "Well, I could never draw like that." Well, it's 20 years in the making. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait to post some of the drawings I did when I was brand new. It sucked. It was awful, but something happened. It calmed me down. So when you were messaging me and thank you so much. It meant everything to me. We just got back from a 2-month medical trial for my grandson. He has an aggressive form of muscular dystrophy. And so my daughter, was like, "No, I'm not accepting this," because it's pretty bad what happens if left untreated. So we went down to Arkansas. I quit both of my jobs and I was their nanny for the last 2 months. And that's when I really was like, okay, what do I really want to do here? If I'm going to build something, it's got to be something I enjoy. And that's where I kind of came up with the idea. And you kept pinging me, "Hey, you're a new member in my group. Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm taking care of kids. I'm so sorry." So, yeah. And the really cool thing, and I'm not going to say if, but when this takes off, then it'll give me the freedom that I can pick up my grandson from preschool. I can help out my daughter, I can do the things I want. And long-term goal is I'm building out a one-to-one program to help people fast track. I no one should spend 20 years in pain, like white knuckling sobriety. It caused me physical problems. It tore up my gut, and I had to get really, really clean with the foods I was eating. Like it's a whole program. It's the food, the nature, the faith, the art. But the one thing I want to express for anyone who happens to be watching this all this way, like right on, thanks for sticking with us and listening, is there is hope. There is hope. Your sobriety shouldn't be painful.
So how would you describe what your community like is about and like who it's for, why somebody would join, what you're trying to do like on the inside?
So if they're sober, sober curious, maybe they're still using, but they're a little bit worried. Or even if they have trauma from like bad stuff happening to them, and they can't stop the intrusive thoughts or the insomnia or the worry, the endless. We're not meant to worry. In the Bible, it says 365 times, "Do not fear." Like, that's a command. And how many people are living in fear? But again, it goes back to my theory of where I think therapy is a little bit broken. This is not a community where we post our problems. I'm not a therapist. It's where we draw, and I'm going to have like weekly challenges, giveaways, but this is my big long-term goal. What I think would be super cool is to make a collection of these ink drawings from the members into a coffee table book.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. And so, one of my posts to the community was why ink? And I explained why it doesn't have to be ink. Like if someone loves charcoal, right on. But, to have a cohesive, beautiful look of all these people who are like, hey, I'm walking the walk. I want to get better. I want to tap into creativity. Imagine flipping through all these pages of ink drawings from all these members. I think it'd be really cool.
Do you have any like thing that you can show us right now, that like any of your art that you have or no?
Yeah, can you edit this out? I'm gonna grab my sketchbook.
I could, but I don't, but I'm too lazy
Okay.
for that.
Okay, no, hold on, hold on,
So just
hold on.
grab it. It's fine. People
Oh,
know that you're getting up to grab it, so they can just either wait or fast forward. It's fine. It's no
okay.
big deal. we'll wait.
Okay, so this is one that
Oh my gosh.
I drew last week.
That's great.
Yeah, so I saw like a warrior and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect for my new community." Because what I don't think people realize is they have a warrior within themselves. I think society tries to keep us conformed. Go to your cubicle,
Yeah.
clock in after your 15-minute break. No, man, we're creative, incredible, one of a kind people, all of us. So here's just, just sitting there drawing the shadows in my
All
hands.
right. So, and you're outside normally when you're doing these, or anywhere.
No, I'm in meetings.
I love it.
Yeah. Anonymous meetings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so there's I was drawing my boot and it's a picture in a picture. A drawing of me drawing my boot.
These are cool. So it's like helping people kind of like become sober through drawing.
Yeah, or stay sober. Stay sober. Yeah.
I
Like
like that clarification.
yeah, I can't get anyone sober. I can't keep them sober. This is the guy who can help with that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So my question
So,
for you would be, I feel like this is one, I would say like, man, I'm proud of you. And I think other people will say that too, because it's like I think it's easy for us to take like, to let the bad things that happen to us, like control the rest of our life. But like when you made improvements and now you're helping other people. So I think what you're trying to do is, it's awesome, you know? And so one question I like to ask is what do you feel like you need help with to go to achieve the vision that you have? Because we never know who's going to watch this or listen to this, and they might have the connections or resources that we don't have.
yeah, so I've done a few angel investor letters and I've sent them to specific people who I think could either invest in my presidential portraits because it's a one of a kind collection. So that was one path I got. And then there was another guy in the school community that was like, "Oh, I wouldn't look for an angel investor. I'm proud that I've bootstrapped my way to success." And I'm like, "Right on." But I've
Right on.
had
I'm not you though.
I'm living on my own, and I've had so many day jobs or night jobs or cleaning houses or waiting tables, and I'm willing to do that. I'm totally willing to do that. But I want to get this message out as far and wide as possible. And I don't know how we're doing on time, but I definitely want to just include this story. When I was in Colorado and I just got there and I was like, what the hell am I doing? But I was like, oh, I fell in love with the amount of sunshine. And are you in Budapest?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I don't know how the weather is there, but I'm deeply affected by sun or lack of sun. Oh,
That's how the weather is right now. But it's okay. It's actually not bad. I actually kind of like it. It's not like super cold. It's like if you have a coat, like you're fine.
right on. So I had just gotten there and I had initially rented out my house and then I ended up selling it so I could continue on this path to find answers. And so I was in it was a fancy apartment. I was like, I just want to experience it without the stress of living like in some weird place. And there was a community wide email that got sent out, and it was from the wife of a veteran. And she was apologizing for what had happened the previous night. And so I went and I asked the manager, the apartment manager, I was like, what happened? Well, her husband was a combat veteran who got drunk and threatened people, and it was a whole big scene. There was tons of cops there and everything. And I immediately said, I didn't pray about it. I didn't ask someone. I immediately said, I can help. I can help. And the apartment manager said, okay, I'll give the wife your contact information. And so I reached out to both of them and I said, listen, let's just do art. Let's do art and chill together. Nothing more. I was like, I'll provide the supplies. Let's just meet in the clubhouse. The manager okayed it. And the wife pulled me aside. I think her husband had served in Afghanistan and he saw some pretty bad stuff. The wife pulled me aside and said, listen, don't take it personally if he doesn't talk. He rarely talks. He's really hurting. And within probably 2 sessions, I couldn't get him to shut up. He was so funny. He was so animated. And again, I didn't talk about the problems. I didn't want to focus on that. Just watching him paint and seeing this different person come out, I was like, holy crap, I've stumbled across something that could help a lot of people.
So what is it? So the main thing you're trying to figure out now is like how to make money like through this, I guess, right?
Yeah, or find someone who wants to back what I'm doing, you know?
Because like, what are you doing right now to try to like monetize this?
So right now I'm just trying to gain good faith,
Okay.
so people realize I'm not here to make a ton of money, and if they want more one-on-one help, I have a whole program. It's already written out. I'm not advertising for it. I'm not going to do tiers or anything like that. I've started a new YouTube channel, but I haven't published a video yet. So it's if someone can see the vision and who I can help, but I don't want to limit it to this avatar. Oh, I'm trying to get this avatar that makes this much money. It's
I mean, it makes
if I
sense to Avatar. It's like they would want to be sober or stay sober, but it's
right.
not just like, hey, they need to be a mom that's 37 years old. I get what you're saying with that. It's like it can be different people,
No.
but that's the thing that they want. It makes sense to me. I think there's a lot of opportunities to either offer paid classes one on one. You could even maybe contact some of the art suppliers, people that make this stuff. Like, you know, as your community grows, hey, I have this community. Can we offer these things? Can I give away this? I think there's a lot of opportunities. It's like, I think just like you said, building the trust and continuing to like put yourself out there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I've reached out to a couple companies and it's okay. I think the thing I need to do is just be rigorously focused on this and
Yes.
packaging this up. And now that the nanny gig is done, I'm left with, okay, what's next? And the first thing is food, shelter, bills and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to find something that works alongside of me building this out because I'm so brand new to all of this. But it's not the first time I've tried. I built illustrating joy course back in 2020 on Kajabi. And I didn't know what I was doing. I could tinker around with graphics and videos all day long, but actually marketing it and getting the word out there that, hey, you don't have to live in pain. Art therapy is like truly healing. That's the message now. So it's like this whole shy, oh, don't look at me. I'm I'm blasting it to pieces,
Let's
you know.
go.
And it started with you. You're
Let's
my first
go.
podcast.
Let's go. I love it. I'm excited to see what people think of it. How do people find you? Like if they want to join this community, share with other people, and if they're like, man, I love what you're doing, I would love to back you or talk even more about it. Like how do they do those things?
So I have a website. It's jackiegrawe.com, and that's Grawe. That's where you'll see all my fine art. I just joined Minect Have you heard of that app?
No.
It's where people can pay you like 20 bucks and you can send them a voice message for answers that they have. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, you should think about it. It's all about monetizing our knowledge. So, yeah, the website jackiegrawe.com.
And that has your community too on there?
No, no, no. No,
Okay.
I'm found, sorry. I'm found in school under recovery sketchbook.
Recovery sketchbook.
Yeah, and it's my
Okay.
hand. It's an ink drawing of my hand, and that's the video that I'm going to edit and post. So they don't even have to join. But if they know someone, maybe it's a spouse of an alcoholic, or a kid, or a teenager who is bullied or whatever, like whoever wants to come in and find a chill place where we draw, we post our drawings, we say, we give a little backstory on it. And eventually I'm going to do the giveaways and all that fun stuff. But for now, I just wanted to build a chill place that people can come. They don't even have to pay anything for now. And let's build this thing. So that's where I'm at right now. So it's baby steps.
I love it. We're here to support the whole way. So we got you. What what
Am I doing it right?
you got it. There you go.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's crooked. It's all those years of drawing.
What would you say to somebody that is watching this that maybe is not in Undeterred yet? They're like, "What is this? Should I join an entrepreneur?" What would your kind of feedback be?
So I know there's like thousands upon thousands of communities out there. And I didn't want to get buried into searching for which one should I join. And it was actually Albert who reached out to me.
Shout out to
And
Albert.
yeah, we had a really cool Zoom talk when I was in Arkansas during the medical trial, and he mentioned you. And he was like, but he only allows new members to come in on Monday.
Yeah,
And that when I was allowed to come in, I didn't have any time. I was taking care of these little kids. They're
yeah.
2, and 8 months. And so I was
Four
like,
four
okay,
years, 2 years and 8 months.
yeah, four
I was like,
years,
that's insane.
2 years. Oh,
4 months,
such
2 months, 8 months. It's like,
yeah.
how'd you pull that off?
Those are my little buddies, and I want to be the best version of myself for them. But yeah, so the reason I like your community and I feel at peace with it is because you personally reached out to me, and I didn't get kicked out because I wasn't participating because I didn't have the time at first.
You were close though. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, dang
I'm
it.
just
I want my money back. Um, so yeah, like, you know, don't you don't have to necessarily figure all this stuff out on your own, but you do need to find the right community where people are supportive and helpful, and that's what I found with your community.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to put this up and other people can connect with you and see what you're doing because it's super cool. I think it'll help a lot of people and anything that we can do to help. I think when you were sharing your story, what I think would be cool for us in the future, because I just added the tiers today. I think it'd be cool in the future. I always had this vision of like part of that money can go towards like people in the community that need it. So not just like anyone that's like, hey, I need money, but if we're like, hey, let's nominate someone that have like a really cool idea, but they need the funds, like why, like if there's hundreds of people in there, like why can't we help them? I feel like most of the time, a lot of us, we're not trying to do something that needs like millions of dollars right now. It's usually like hundreds or a couple thousand. I think if we have so many people in there, like we should be able to come together and help each other. So that's like the vision, not just like me sharing a screenshot of the MRR and I'm like living somewhere fancy and everyone else is just like struggling, but like how can we help each other? So I think that'd be
That
cool.
yeah, and I mean, even what a lot of the people who I've reached out to on LinkedIn and stuff, I'm like, even if you just want to buy the art supplies so I can make it even more enticing for people to join, like, I'll send you the pens, I'll send you the sketchbook. Like something like that would be super cool. And I have a friend who was like, "Oh, I would do a GoFundMe since you're going to Arkansas and you're coming back and you're not going to have work." And I was like, "No, no, no, that's okay." But like a GoFundMe around entrepreneurs who are like, "Hey, I believe in this cause. Let's help this person out." Down the line, I would fund, once I get to that stage, I would fund a worthy cause. There's these angel investors and stuff. I think that would be so cool if you added something like that.
Okay, more like when. 'Cause I did one before, but we'll do more. Anything else you want to add before we hop off here?
Trust God and just keep going,
Amen.
one step at a time, man. And I thank you and sorry for the weird background, but hey, it's real life.
It's not really a weird background. I feel like like I honestly hate when people blur their background. I think it's so weird. But I'm like, just show like where you're at. Like I like this is not even like nice either. It's just like I feel like it's more natural for people. I think everyone tries to be like so perfect, but then it doesn't come across as like personal. And now we're just like it's like we're just chilling and hanging out. It's like if you
Yeah,
invited
yeah.
someone over, they're gonna see the same thing. So I don't know. I think it's cool. You didn't paint that though? The poster.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, no, no. No, I think I want to draw it though. I think that'd make a cool ink drawing.
You should.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I
But you
will.
could change the face to whoever you want. But make it
Yeah.
this
Oh, maybe I'll draw you.
the community
That's it.
father.
There you go. There
Oh
you
man, I
go.
appreciate you coming on and doing this. This is awesome. It's always cool to like get to know people's stories like even more and like the why behind the what. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dee.
Alrighty, guys, we'll see you on the next one.